Seniors, eat papaya, seeds like this, and watch 12 health problems disappear. Have you ever looked down at your plate, noticed those little black seeds inside a papaya, and thought, well, that's trash? You wouldn't be alone. Most people scoop them out, toss them straight into the bin, and never think twice. But let me ask you this. What if that throwaway habit is quietly robbing you of one of nature's most powerful little medicines? Now picture this. It's early morning. You've just finished your breakfast. You reach for that familiar line of pill bottles, blood pressure, digestion, maybe one for aching joints. You sigh, not because you're tired, but because deep down, a part of you wonders, is this really the best I can feel at this age? My friend, I want you to know something. Aging doesn't mean losing your vitality. It doesn't mean giving up on small daily miracles. And believe it or not, those glossy black papaya seeds might hold more healing potential than you ever imagined. Let's walk through this together, one small seed, one small step at a time. And hey, if this feels helpful already, you're welcome to stick around and subscribe. We've got a lot to uncover, and I'm right here with you. Part 1, Everett's Surprise. The seeds that helped his stomach settle down. Everett, a retired firefighter from Ohio, always prided himself on having an iron stomach. Chili dogs, greasy breakfasts. Midnight leftovers, nothing could slow him down. But once he hit 68, things changed. After every meal came the bloating, the burping, the discomfort that lingered like an unwanted guest. One morning, as he sat at the kitchen table picking seeds out of a ripe papaya his daughter had left behind, he muttered, "Can't believe people eat this stuff." But his granddaughter, a curious, health-loving teenager, looked up and said, "Actually, Grandpa, the seeds are the best part. They help your gut." Everett laughed. Then he paused, because his gut hadn't felt helped in years. Let me explain why that matters. As we age, our digestive fire dims. We produce less stomach acid. Our intestines move slower. And our friendly gut bacteria, they start losing the battle to inflammation and stress. That's why so many seniors struggle with indigestion, gas, and constipation. But here's the thing. Papaya seeds carry an enzyme called papain, which acts like a gentle helper in your stomach. Think of papain as the friend who shows up to a messy kitchen and helps clean up breaking down proteins, clearing the clutter, and making digestion smoother. These little seeds also contain fiber, not the cardboard-tasting kind you mix in water, the real kind, that feeds your good gut bugs and helps keep things moving naturally. Everett didn't expect much when he chewed a few seeds after breakfast the next day. But by the end of that week, he noticed something less bloating, easier bathroom visits, and a belly that didn't feel like it was fighting him anymore. As a doctor, I've seen this story play out more times than I can count. Seniors walking in with long lists of digestive complaints, and walking out with a simple reminder, your gut doesn't need more pills sometimes. It just needs real food with real function. But let's be honest, if we ignore our digestion, if we chalk it up to just getting old, we set the stage for nutrient deficiencies, low energy, and discomfort that chips away at our joy. The good news? You don't need to overhaul your life. Just start by keeping a few papaya seeds the next time you slice one open. Try a teaspoon after meals. Chew slowly. Listen to your body. And like Everett, you might just find that healing begins with something as small and unexpected as a seed. Part 2, June's Kidneys and the Gift She Almost Threw Away. June, a 73-year-old retired librarian from Arizona, used to love her morning walks. But over the years, she found herself getting more and more tired. She'd swell up around her ankles, and the puffiness in her face made her feel like she was wearing a mask. At first, she blamed it on the heat, then on her blood pressure meds. But when she went for a checkup, her doctor told her gently, "Your kidneys aren't filtering like they used to." Now, kidneys are the body's silent workers. They don't complain loudly, but when they're overwhelmed by medications, processed foods, or just the weight of time, the effects show up in small, stubborn ways: fatigue, swelling, foggy thinking. But here's the hopeful twist: those tiny papaya seeds that June always scraped into the trash, they turned out to be exactly what her kidneys needed. Let me explain why. Papaya seeds contain compounds with antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, which can gently protect your kidneys from everyday toxins. Think of it like this: every day your kidneys filter around 50 gallons of blood. That's like a small backyard pool. And if the filter gets clogged or inflamed, the whole system suffers. The antioxidants in papaya seeds, especially polyphenols and flavonoids, help neutralize free radicals, unstable little troublemakers that can cause inflammation in your kidney tissue. It's like giving your kidneys a pair of strong, gentle gloves to do their hard job without injury. There's even some early evidence that papaya seed extract can help protect the kidneys from damage caused by certain medications, something many seniors rely on daily. When June added half a teaspoon of crushed, sun-dried papaya seeds to her morning smoothie, she didn't expect a miracle. But within 2 weeks, the swelling in her ankles eased. Her energy crept back. And one afternoon, she walked an extra block just because she could. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The kidneys are some of the most underappreciated organs we've got, and the things that help them aren't always high tech. Sometimes they're hiding in your compost bin. Now, let me be clear. Papaya seeds aren't a replacement for kidney medication or dialysis, but they are a gentle way to support your body's natural detox system, one seed at a time. So, before you toss them away, ask yourself, what if something so small could help you feel a little clearer, a little lighter, a little more you? Part 3, Harold's Close Call. Could a tiny seed help prevent something bigger? Harold, 76, from Jacksonville, Florida, never missed a checkup. He took his meds, walked a few blocks a day, and kept his freezer stocked with vegetables. But when he heard the word tumor in his doctor's office one afternoon, time seemed to freeze. It turned out to be benign, a harmless little lump. But it shook him. He couldn't stop wondering, how do I stop something worse from coming back? It's a question I hear often from older patients. And here's the honest truth: there's no magic bullet for cancer, but there are everyday habits that make your body less inviting to disease, and papaya seeds might be one of them. Let's dig into the science gently. Cancer starts when healthy cells go rogue, multiplying wildly, refusing to die, and ignoring all the body's natural stop signs. One of the biggest drivers behind this chaos, oxidative stress. It's like rust forming on metal invisible at first, but over time, it weakens the whole structure. Papaya seeds are loaded with antioxidants, especially a fascinating compound called benzyl isothiocyanate. This natural chemical has shown promise in early lab studies to trigger apoptosis. That's a fancy word for telling damaged or cancerous cells to self-destruct. It's not chemo. It's not a cure. But think of it like a gentle whisper to the body. Let's clean house before things get out of hand. Now, back to Harold. He started adding crushed papaya seeds to his salad every other day. He said they had a peppery kick like black pepper with a mission. Did it cure anything, though? But 6 months later, his follow-up scans were clean. More importantly, Harold said this, I feel like I'm doing something. I'm not just waiting around to get sick. And that, my friend, is the heart of it. Prevention isn't about fear, it's about quiet power. Taking small steps before big problems arrive. Now. To be crystal clear, no seed can replace screenings, treatment, or medical guidance. But these tiny black seeds can absolutely be part of a bigger picture one where your choices help write the ending. So the next time you slice open a papaya, don't just look at the fruit. Look at those seeds and ask yourself, what future could I be planting just by eating one? Part 4, Marie's Mirror. What her skin was trying to tell her. Marie, 69 from Vermont, used to have the kind of skin people complimented smooth, glowing, the kind that didn't need makeup. But after retirement, something changed. Fine lines crept in faster. Her cheeks looked dull, her forehead a little rough, and the acne. At her age, I thought pimples were for teenagers. She joked one day to her bridge club. But under the laughter was frustration. Marie had tried creams, serums, even expensive spa facials. Nothing stuck. Her skin felt tired, like it had lost its spark. One afternoon, her niece brought over a tropical fruit salad. Inside were chunks of papaya and a small bowl of black seeds. "Don't toss those," her niece said. "They're good for your skin." Marie blinked. "Seeds? For my face?" "Yes, and here's why. Papaya seeds are full of enzymes, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds that work not just inside the body but on the surface too." Let's start with the inside story. When your gut is inflamed or sluggish, your skin often tells on you. Breakouts, dullness, dry patches, it's all connected. Papaya seeds help gently clean up your digestion, which in turn supports clear, calm skin. But here's the fun part. Those same seeds can be crushed into a natural exfoliating paste. Papain, the main enzyme, helps slough off dead skin cells like a soft broom sweeping out an old attic. Meanwhile, antioxidants like polyphenols go to work neutralizing the free radicals that lead to wrinkles and sagging. Marie began using a simple homemade mask, just crushed papaya seeds mixed with honey. 10 minutes, twice a week. She said it smelled weird, but in a good, earthy way. After a month, her friends started to notice. "You look rested," one said. Another asked, "Are you doing something new?" Marie just smiled because her mirror no longer made her sigh. I've seen this over and over, not just with skin, but with self-esteem. When your reflection softens, when you feel radiant again, something inside you lifts. So if you've been staring at age spots or wondering why your glow left the room, maybe it's time to give nature another try. Not in a bottle, not with a brand name, but in the seeds you almost threw away. Let your skin breathe again. Let it be nourished from both sides, inside and out. Part 5. Walter's Sugar Story. The sweet fix that was hurting him slowly. Walter from Lubbock, Texas, always had a sweet tooth. Cinnamon rolls in the morning, sweet tea at lunch, a little ice cream after dinner. He said it ran in the family. His mama baked pies like it was a religion. But at 71, Walter got a wake-up call. His blood sugar was rising. His doctor mentioned the word pre-diabetic softly, but firmly. Walter hated that word. It made him feel like he was sitting on a ticking clock, like his body was betraying him after all these years. So he asked me, "Doc, I don't want to live on pills. Isn't there anything natural I can do to help keep this in check?" I smiled, then leaned in and asked, "Do you eat papaya?" He nodded. "Sure, sometimes." "And do you toss the seeds?" He looked confused. "Of course, don't we all? Let me tell you why that's worth rethinking." Papaya seeds contain natural compounds that help the body become more sensitive to insulin. That's the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. When insulin doesn't work well, sugar lingers in the bloodstream, damaging nerves, eyes, kidneys, the whole works. But here's the thing. Antioxidants like flavonoids in papaya seeds help reduce something called oxidative stress, which is one of the culprits behind insulin resistance. It's like removing static from a radio. So the signal in this case, insulin, comes through loud and clear, plus the fiber in the seeds slows down how quickly sugar is absorbed after meals. So instead of sugar spiking and crashing like a roller coaster, it stays steady like a calm river. Walter started with just half a teaspoon of dried, crushed seeds each morning. He sprinkled it into his oatmeal, alongside a few walnuts and a splash of almond milk. He called it his peppery little insurance policy. After 3 months, his A1C, that's the test that shows your average blood sugar over time, went from borderline high to back within normal range. His doctor smiled. Walter cried. Just a little? He still eats cinnamon rolls, just not every day. And now, he keeps a jar of papaya seed powder next to his coffee. If you're like Walter watching your sugar, hoping to stay off medications, know this, you're not powerless. Nature gives us tools. Quiet ones. They don't come with flashing labels or commercials, but they work if you listen. So the next time you're tempted to toss those seeds, pause. Your body might just thank you later, one sugar-stabilized day at a time. Part 6. Linda's aches and the quiet anti-inflammatory, hiding in her fruit bowl. Linda, a 74-year-old widow from Michigan, used to love knitting. She'd sit by the window in the late afternoon sun, her fingers dancing through yarn like they had their own rhythm. But slowly, the rhythm faded. Her hands began to ache. Her knees stiffened. Some days, even getting out of bed felt like a chore. Her doctor called it inflammation, a word that sounded more like a weather report than a medical condition. Everything just feels puffy, she told me with a half laugh, half sigh, inside and out. What Linda was experiencing is what many seniors face: chronic low-grade inflammation. It's like a slow-burning fire in the body that never quite goes out. You don't always see it, but you feel its heat in your joints, your mood, your energy. Now, here's where things get interesting. Papaya seeds are tiny. Yes. But they contain benzyl isothiocyanate, a plant compound known for its anti-inflammatory powers. It works kind of like a peacekeeper in your body, gently telling overactive immune cells to calm down and stop attacking healthy tissue. In studies on arthritis and inflammatory pain, compounds found in papaya seeds have shown potential to reduce swelling and discomfort without the side effects of long-term pain medication. Linda was skeptical. Of course. Who wouldn't be seeds from a fruit, doing what her pain pills couldn't? But she was also curious. So, she ground up a few papaya seeds, mixed them with a bit of coconut oil, and started adding it to her morning toast, just a little smear under the peanut butter. It was spicy, kind of earthy, like mustard met coffee, she said. 2 weeks in, she noticed something. Her fingers didn't feel as stiff in the morning. By the 3rd week, she was knitting again slowly, but with joy. I remember the first scarf she brought to show me after that. It was deep burgundy. For the inflammation, she joked, like a warning sign. But here's what really stuck with me. She wasn't just moving better, she was smiling more, laughing more. Because when your body stops screaming, your spirit gets a little louder again. If you're living with daily aches, and you've started to believe that pain is just part of getting older, I want to gently challenge that. Yes, aging brings changes, but pain isn't a punishment. and your body still wants to heal, start small. A teaspoon of papaya seeds, maybe in yogurt, maybe stirred into soup. Let it become part of your rhythm, like a quiet act of rebellion against the stiffness that tries to slow you down. Linda reclaimed her hands. What might you reclaim next? So here we are, my friend, after a journey that started with something so small, it usually ends up in the trash. We've walked alongside Everett, who found comfort in his gut. We stood with June as she gave her kidneys a second chance. We sat with Harold during a quiet moment of fear and watched him take back some control. Marie looked in the mirror and saw her glow return. Walter steadied his sugar, and Linda. Dear Linda took her hands back from the grip of pain. And all of it started with a seed, not a miracle. Not a promise in a pill. Just one small part of nature, carrying quiet strength, waiting for someone to believe it mattered. Now let me say this gently, because I know how life can feel when we get older. The world tells you to slow down, to expect less, to be grateful for managing. But I want more than managing for you. I want you to feel light in your body again. I want you to wake up and stretch without pain. I want you to enjoy your meals without fear of what they'll do to your blood sugar. I want you to feel hope when you see something as simple as a seed. Because here's the truth. You're not past your prime. Your body still listens. And healing, no matter your age, is always worth the effort. If this video reminded you of someone, your sister, your neighbor, your spouse, share it. Let them know they're not alone in this. And hey, what surprised you most? I'd love to hear it in the comments. Really. You deserve energy. You deserve dignity. You deserve peace. And sometimes it all begins with not throwing away the seeds.